The Innocence Project works to exonerate the innocent through DNA testing and reform the criminal justice system to prevent future injustice. Today I'm speaking about the Innocence Project. They advocate reforms to help prevent and address wrongful convictions. I've been listening to wrongful conviction podcasts for a really long time now, and the one that I listen to the most, Wrongful Convictions, works closely with the Innocence Project, and that's how I heard about them. I've done research on this nonprofit, and I really believe in their mission. Today I'd like to persuade you to help this organization that's advocating for reform and helping prevent and address wrongful convictions. I'd love to tell you what I've learned about them and ways that you can help. I want to talk about the need that this organization covers first. Many things can play into a wrongful conviction. Here are a few. Inadequate defense, misused forensic evidence, and eyewitness misidentification. The Innocence Project works with victims of this wrongdoing and helps fight for adequate justice for them. An article from Time said, data from the National Registry shows that more than half of exonerations involve perjury or false accusations. This problem is particularly prevalent in homicide cases and child sex abuse cases. Mistaken witness identification is often an issue in sexual assault cases. So the Innocence Project was founded in 1992 by Peter Newfield and Barry Scheck from the Cardozo School of Law. It exonerates, like I said before, the wrongly convicted through DNA testing, and it helps reform the criminal justice system to prevent the future injustices. There's a staggering number of innocent people that remain incarcerated. I'm going to give some facts. The LA Times said the rate of wrongful convictions in the United States is estimated to be somewhere between 2 and 10%. The Washington Post says, of course, in a country with millions of criminal convictions a year and more than 2 million people behind bars, even 1% amounts to tens of thousands of tragic errors. I don't know about you, but for me, that is far too many innocent people behind bars. If the wrongful conviction rate is 2 to 10% and 1% is tens of thousands of people, I just don't think that's right. I want to talk specifically about the Innocence Project, how they do what they do. The Innocence Project's science and research team uses data to understand patterns in wrongful conviction cases, and they conduct comprehensive reviews of research to support their reform efforts. This is a few things directly from their website. A top priority is to improve the accuracy and reliability of forensic science. They work at the federal level to encourage science-based evaluation of validity of forensic disciplines, funding for research, development of national standards, and support for judicial training. So that's at the federal level. They also work on the state level. At the state level, they work to address reforms needed to ensure consideration by the courts of new scientific evidence, including evidence discrediting previous expert testimony, and to strengthen the oversight of local and state forensic laboratories. They also provide resources to assist researchers, lawyers, and others interested in learning about wrongful convictions. These resources include statistics about exoneration cases, systematic literature reviews of specific research questions, analyses of special topics, and even ideas for future possible research. Now I want to talk about the ways that the Innocence Project helps those who have been exonerated kind of get back into society. So exonerees face the formidable task of reinventing their lives and identities when they walk out of prison. Many of them have lived decades within the rigid confines of prison, and navigating the intense transition back into the outside world can be distressing and disorienting. Imagine being locked up, captivated, whatever, in a tiny little part of the world, and then all of a sudden, years later, you're thrown out into things that you don't know. Everything has changed. Technology is more advanced. Just everything is completely different. The Innocence Project aims to meet the varied and individual needs of each of their clients upon their release. The social work department reaches out to exonerees before they're even out of prison because they want to assess what type of needs they'll have. Needs can fill a really broad spectrum. Some of them, it might be locating your birth certificate or finding your social security number so they can help you get in touch with family. Sometimes it's securing housing or arranging for critical medical and psychological treatment. To reinforce the network of support, the social work team organizes workshops, social events, and other opportunities for exonerees to exchange stories about their experiences. It's really important when they get out of prison that they have a community and people there to care about them and lift them up and encourage them to keep fighting the fight, So now I want to talk to you about ways that you can give. You can donate any amount. You can do a one-time donation or you can give monthly. You can find this on their website, www.theinnocenceproject.org. It can show you, there's a giving tab. You can just hit the drop-down box. There are specified numbers or you can put your own amount. There are even ways to get your employer to match what you give, and all your donations are tax deductible. So DNA testing has exonerated more than 350 innocent people in the United States, and others are still waiting for justice. With your generous support, the Innocence Project will continue to work nationwide to free the innocent and reform the criminal justice system. Now that I explained what the Innocence Project does and who they support, I hope that you'll consider giving to this organization. This nonprofit has a great mission, and I really believe in the work they're doing. Thank you for your commitment to justice.